Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, OMTATA is telling us that every time there is an handshake, our debt normally increases.
Madam Speaker, I wish our screens were working. I would have beamed my calculations onto that screen so that Kenyans can see how they are being scammed in the name of taking public debt. I've done a graph, and you realize one of the interesting things is that our debt spikes every time we have got a handshake, which means that the mechanisms of oversight are lost. In every year when you have had a handshake, there has been a spike in reckless borrowing and reckless expenditure by government. I hope it doesn't happen today. It's just unfortunate that we cannot, I don't know whether we are allowed or not, but I would have loved to be projecting some of these figures.
So they took 4.5 trillion in 2 terms. Whereas William Ruto's term, they have taken close to 2.5 trillion within 2 years. So he says that, according to OMTATA, he says that the main reason why debts increase here in Kenya is because of handshakes. Now we know, we don't know about Moi's time, but we know during Moi, there was the issue of Golden Bag, which was not before the handshake. We know during Mwai Kibaki, there was the issue of Anglo leasing, which came before the coalition government. In Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, we know that when they had some handshake, Kenyans would reject any move they would make, Uhuru and Raila, about any loan. But OMTATA is arguing that that handshake which we were taken to, which we saw, the one that took place in 2017, is the one that made Kenyans have this kind of loan. So in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to go into the statement from OMTATA, because he's saying that we are scammed. That is a statement from OMTATA. So before we continue, kindly like this video. That is the only way you support our work, ladies and gentlemen. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to make our channel grow. Thank you so much for all of you who have supported us before. We are scammed. That is what OMTATA is telling us.
Madam Speaker, I wish our screens were working. I would have beamed my calculations onto that screen so that Kenyans can see how they are being scammed.
So who are scammed us? In this analysis, and the video that you're about to see, ladies and gentlemen, OMTATA is trailing his guns on Ruto's government. Based on his statement, he says he has gone in all the portals that you can ever imagine of here in Kenya, the portals that belong to the government, whereby you can trace projects. There are portals where government, normally if there's any project, they normally upload there. So OMTATA said, I've gone through all those portals. I've dig deep into books. I can't see where the 2.5 trillion debt has been linked to.
We have a program-based budgeting process whereby when money is borrowed, it's tied to a project. These trillions of shillings, more than 6 trillion, cannot be traced in government documents. I've taken my time from October last year, poring over thousands of documents that I got from the website of the Treasury, Central Bank, Control of Budget, and all these people. And I cannot trace where this money went. I can see why the 2-point-something trillion that the Parliament approved is clearly seen where it went. This money cannot be traced in the economy. To make matters worse, Madam Speaker, not a single domestic debt is approved by Parliament. Not a single one. All those billions. Look at the Appropriation Act. There's none.
Any project, let's say for example, OMTATA wanted to see a thicker superhighway being built so that he can say that, oh, okay, fine. Out of this debt, we have like 1 trillion that is financing the road. He can't trace a single project. What does that mean? You know, there's a time Jimmy Wanjigi told us about odious debt when he was trying to educate Kenyans to understand that some of these loans had already been paid. Now, what they are doing, they are pretending to be taking loans so that they can pay other loans. And again, if you go by the laws of Kenya, I think that has been forbidden. You cannot take a loan to service another loan. I mean, that's what OMTATA is telling us, that Kenyan law does not permit that. Taking a loan to finance another loan. So if OMTATA says that he can't find any project linked to the 2.5 trillion that has been taken by Kenya, that can only mean that maybe this loan was taken to pay another loan. And already there's a narrative from Jimmy Wanjigi that most of these loans they say they are paying were loans which were cleared a long time ago. So which loans are they paying? Are they paying their own personal loans with this money, or is it the Kenyan loan? Where is this money being taken to? These are very weighty issues, weighty concerns from OMTATA, which cannot be ignored. I've seen even Senator Onyonka talk about the same. He was talking about some 4-point-something trillion, the ones that were taken during Uhuru Kenyatta's time. Now, when they are trying to make a comparison with Uhuru's time, with the RUTO's time, you realize that if at all the first 2 years they've taken 2.5 trillion, then let's assume William Ruto completes his 10 years, which Kenyans do not want to see happen. But let's assume he completes his 10 years. How much loan shall he have taken if in 2 years he has taken 2.5 loans? So 2 divided by 10, you get 5. So let's assume 2.5 by 5. That would mean Ruto shall have taken around 10 trillion. If I'm not wrong, 10 to 12 trillion there in form of loans which cannot be linked to any project. And this is where OMTATA has issues with this government. And that's why he has even gone to a point of blaming the handshake, saying that the handshake is actually a catalyst to this quest to take more loans, the handshake. So he's literally trying to blame RAILA Odinga for agreeing for a handshake with William Ruto. But the good thing is that we have people like OMTATA, Onyonka, we have people like Sifuna who are still taking the government head on, And we have someone like Rigathi Gachagua who is also playing a critical role in the opposition wing. So we can say as Kenyans, we still have people who are fighting for Kenyans. We don't know that they have interests, other personal interests, but we can say that they are fighting for Kenyans. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to rest my case there, but just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this explosive remark from OMTATA. Perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.